Hey guys, good morning. So today I am in the Centro Storico of Sinalunga, Tuscany. Haven't heard of it? Well, that's why houses here are like 60,000 euros. You can find a nice apartment here starting at around 40,000. It's a pretty vibrant town. I mean, look at the town square. A lot of cars, a lot of people driving around. So I do a lot of videos in places like Montepulciano where I live, Siena, Lucca, and I get comments from time to time that people say, well, that apartment you showed that was 400,000 euros, that's not worth more than 50,000. Apartments and real estate in general are valued as a function of the income that they could generate if they were generating income. If you're in Siena and you have a 3-bedroom apartment that's beautiful, you're going to be able to rent that for a lot of money. Ergo, it's going to be expensive. If you're here in Sinalunga, which is a lovely town, by the way. I've never been up here before, and I live 20 minutes away. I'm all the way up on top in the Centro Storico. There's no tourists coming up here booking places. So you're not going to be able to get a lot of money in rent from the local rental market. And so that is why here in Sinalunga, you can find properties that are very inexpensive. But it's still a nice place to live. And we're only 20 minutes from the A1 freeway. We're only about 15 minutes from a big outlet center, which I know maybe outlet malls aren't your thing. However, nice to have. And also, we're very near big grocery stores, any sort of store that you would need, sporting goods stores, hardware stores. It's all at your fingertips here. Makes it a really nice place to live. Now, you can live up high in the Centro Storico where we're at, this historic center, or you can live down below in the flats of Sinalunga. We're going to be looking at properties today in both of those areas. We're going to be looking at real estate listings here, and we're going to see what you can get for your money in Sinalunga, Tuscany. All right? So as we're walking back up to the plaza, the piazza, I wanted to talk real fast with you guys about some things that I think you'll find really interesting, kind of educational, that you may not know yet about real estate and dealing with agents here and how the process works. So let's go into it one by one. I have 3 important things. So thing number 1, there are no lock boxes in Italy to speak of. When you want to go see an apartment, you don't just call up your agent and say, hey, let's stop by and see this apartment in 20 minutes. They have to find out who the owner is. They have to find out where the keys are. Then they have to procure the keys. So if you want to see 4 or 5 or 10 apartments or houses in one day, it's going to be very difficult. I usually get 2 or 3 set up to view in one day. And that's about the maximum you can do because it's not like where you're from. It is very different here. Thing number 2. Another thing that's very different here is it's like the Wild West when it comes to agents. There is very few properties that are exclusive to a single agent, very few. When you're looking online, you're going to find that the same property is listed 2, 3, 5, even 10 times. The same property, usually with different measurements, different sizing, different number of rooms, and sometimes even a slightly different price. Why? Because there's no listings here that are exclusive, generally speaking, to a single agent. It's very unusual. So agents will see something that's for sale, know where the house is at, and just stop by and take some exterior photos and put it on with their name. Basically just cut and paste the other person's listing. Until there's so many of them, you don't know what the real facts are and who the agent is, because there probably isn't one. And if the owner of the house can sell it directly, like say suddenly they meet someone at a bar, and the person says, hey, I'm looking for a house, and they can get the deal done, they're not going to pay any agency because they don't have a contract with anyone. So it's very different than what you're used to. So be prepared for that and understand that as you're looking online. Number 3 thing, there's no MLS system here. So it's very difficult to say, hey, I want to see every house in Sinalunga that's between 60 and 80,000 euros and know all the information about them and get some price comps and all this other stuff that you're used to doing probably wherever you're from. It isn't like that here. That's why it's super important that you have an excellent agent. And I would highly recommend you find an excellent agent that speaks your native language, whether it's English or Spanish or French or whatever it is. If you don't speak Italian fluently, because it's a very complicated process here, and good communication is the key. And using other people coming in to help translate and using Google Translate and all the rest of it is kind of a recipe for problems. So I would recommend find a good agent, stick with them, let them sort through everything, and a good agent should be able to procure you a lot of places to go see, but don't try bouncing around from agent to agent.
Now we're going to head down into the flats. Look how steep this hill is we're going down. We'll get down to the flats and we're going to go into 3 different stores: a pet food store, a general store, and a big grocery store. Well, guys, I wanted to take you around town. So welcome to La Isola dei Tesori, which would translate as the Island of Treasures, but really it's like Treasure Island. And it's a pet food shop, and it's an excellent pet food shop. They have tons of stuff. This is just the treats section. For pet food, pet treats, pet medications, I find it's pretty reasonable and pretty much comparable to a good place in the United States. Now, I'm going to intersperse some different real estate that's available down here in the flats of Sinalunga right now as we're looking around this pet food store. This dog food is what we feed the boys. It's very excellent quality. They actually eat less of it than what they were eating in the United States, volume-wise. It runs about 60 euros for a big bag. The bag is 12 kilos, about 26 pounds. That's what they get, 61 euros. And they have little sales from time to time. It's not too bad, but again, very excellent quality. I think this is a good example of why it's important to, yes, look for value in where you want to buy a piece of property, but you don't have to go out into the middle of nowhere to a €1 village or a town that has absolutely nothing going for it, when you can find something very reasonable to buy in a town like this that'll have everything you need, and it'll be at prices and with a selection that'll actually end up saving you a lot of money.
When you find your condo, you can find your cat a condo too. So you can scratch your pet food source off your list of worries when you're moving to Italy. So all these shops are within about 6-7 minutes of the Centro Storico, which is right up there. But let's go inside and see what they got. Oldie sent me on a mission. I have a mission from God. I mean, this place is... Buongiorno. Buongiorno, buongiorno. They're so friendly. So this place has everything in it. I didn't want to show everybody because that's rude here. That's probably rude anywhere, videotaping people. Oh, they even have pet treats and stuff here too. So it's kind of an everything store as far as cleaning supplies, beauty things. They got everything, basically everything. Even things like socks and stuff. So it's not like you're in the hinterlands and everything is far away from you. You can catch the city bus, be down here in probably less than 15 minutes and have everything you need. So now you can scratch, where am I going to get cleaning supplies and tissue and toothpaste at off your list. And everything here is priced really well. This isn't a faraway village where everything's going to be super expensive unless you drive an hour to the next major city. It's all close at hand and all very reasonable. Fresh bread. Gosh, I'm starving. And cookies. Fresh made pizza. So this place is huge, guys. I mean, the store is gigantic. Let's get an idea of pricing for you. This will be interesting too. So it's €3, about 350 US for the box of apples. Look at these pears. You notice one thing, it's not all fakey looking, like everything's exactly the same. So most of the fruit's about $1.20 a pound, more or less. If I do a quick translation in my head, 2-3 euros a kilo. Gosh, I'm getting hungry again.
I don't know where y'all are from, but I'm from Texas, and I can tell you this grocery store rivals our biggest HEB. That was our big chain store. It is ginormous in here.
So I think it's super important to be near a really decent grocery store like this, where you have such a good selection of everything. I mean, let's go down the tomato sauce aisle. Everything. It's a good wine. Brunello de Montalcino. That's top notch. I don't know the winery, but the wine itself is good. You will not be without wine here. And this is just one grocery store. There's 4 big stores in this town. Prosecco's, champagnes. Let's see what kind of pricing they have. If you click, oh, that's our favorite. French. So I hope you guys like this tour of Upper and Lower Sinalunga. We're back up in the Piazza Grande, up above everything. And I must say, for a town that's as inexpensive as this is, in Tuscany as it is, I don't know why people would move out into the nether regions of Italy, into a town with very limited services, with very limited medical care, which is probably the most important thing when you need it. Why you would move that far away when you can be in a town like this that's busy, with everything within 10 minutes, great bus service, train station, everything that you need, centrally located in Italy, where you can find an apartment for 50,000 and a house for 100,000. So That's it today from Sinalunga. If you have any questions, go to bradsworld.it, my new website. There's a form on there. Use it, send it to me, ask me anything you want. If you need help looking at a property here in Italy, if I'm available, if I can get there in a reasonable amount of time, I'm happy to go take a look and give you a report on it, help you out in that way. Of course, there's a charge for that. And then if you have questions on properties in this area, I recommend using Marta Piccinetti, my agent. She'll take great care of you, and she'll work out a way to get you your dream house here in Sinalunga or wherever you want to be in southern Tuscany and western Umbria. All right, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time on Brad's World. Ciao.